Hello and welcome everyone to the Mizzou Esports League of Legends Twitch stream. We've got more playoffs coming at you this week. Been playoffs all week long so far. This time, League of Legends in the NECC quarterfinals versus the University of North Dakota. This is the same team that we played last semester in the finals where Mizzou won 3-0. Now I believe both these teams have moved up a division rank, whatever you want to call it, and are now facing off in the quarterfinals. I am Paladino, your your play-by-play commentator for today, and to my left is Beyblade. Thank you for joining me.
Hello, yeah, I'm glad to be here, trying to take my role.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm here helping color commentate today, and it'll be exciting. I'm happy to be here again and to watch these playoffs. It should be pretty exciting stuff.
Yep, should be good. Like I just said, these teams have played against each other before. Last semester to this semester for the Mizzou roster, the only thing that has changed is, of course, the top lane role, moving from Arrogant to Wade. And for the side of UND, their top lane and support have changed, but jungle, mid, and AD carry are all staying the same. We're moving into draft number 1 already. Mizzou will be on blue side for game 1. As you can see, so interesting. So UND banned 3 AD carries.
Yeah.
Which means Oxshot is open. The question is if Jim will pick it.
Yeah.
But it's never open. But this is a game where I would really like. Okay, so we already picked Zeri on B1. Renekton Ari is the response. This is a game where I really think you could go Zeri Akshan and then double Enchanter, support jungle, tank top. You could easily go Ivor Lulu. But you do have to pick Akshan on 2-3.
Yeah.
And then you go like Ornn top or something. I mean, Wade doesn't really play tanks, but Cassante is another option as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Akshan is open. I would like to see us pick Akshan.
I mean, this is the first time he's even had the chance
I know.
to in months. So,
Yeah.
It'd be surprising if he just gives up the opportunity, but we'll see.
He just recently crossed over the 1,000,000 point
Right,
threshold
yeah.
the other day in terms of mastery points.
So you might as well flex it.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally never open. I
Yeah.
feel like it's really surprising to see 3 AD carry bans just thrown towards Blake.
Syndra.
I mean, that's the staple pick
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I'm not surprised to see the Syndra locked in, but yeah, I'm a little disappointed.
Hey, he could be saving it for match 2, you know?
It's I mean,
Just do the
that's true.
Syndra, then they ban it next time, and he's like, well, go to Akshan. I'm not worried about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we'll see. I am kind of sad they banned 2 of my favorite AD carries, Ezreal and Ashe there. Or Ezreal
Jinx,
and Ashe.
you're not a
Ezreal
Ashe
and
player.
Jinx. I like Ashe, but not as much as Jinx. Definitely have more master on the other 2. But Zeri is another one of my favorites, so still exciting.
Yeah, Zeri's.
We'll see the lane.
Yeah, Zeri's popped back up into the meta, which is interesting. It's moderately strong. Blake mentioned earlier today that he's been playing a lot of Ezreal recently. Jinx's win rate is really high. It is the first day of the patch, so things are always going to be kind of inflated. But
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if there were any significant AD carry changes that I remember other than Smolder, of course. But
yeah, but I mean that's why it's not banned or picked.
Right.
They killed that character, at least for now. We'll see. Maybe the execute change won't be all that different. For those who don't know, the Smolder was nerfed so that when you reach the 225 stack threshold, the execute no longer scales with number of stacks. It stays at a flat 6%. So very, very big nerf. So I'm not at all surprised to see that one not in the pool. 2 supports banned by UND, 2 AD carries banned by Mizzou, taking Varus and Aphelios off of the board. Varus is one that's been really high prevalence across pretty much every major region. And then Aphelios is one that I would imagine this AD carry plays a lot of Aphelios because you don't really ban it otherwise.
Yeah. Unless they play it, there's really no.
Yeah.
You either play Aphelios or you don't. That's kind of how it goes. Oh, a Kog'Maw
They
pick.
Pick Kog'Maw. They already banned Lulu, so you can almost guarantee they're going to go with an Enchanter here because you just so rarely see Kog'Maw picked with engaged champs. And, I mean, his best pairing by far is Lulu.
Right.
So I almost wonder why UND didn't just not ban Lulu and take it on 4.
Yeah, but I mean, the Zeri Lulu is also very strong, so.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
I get it taking it away from the Zeri, but I don't know why. If you know you want to play Kog'Maw, why don't you just pick Lulu on 4, and then
that's
you.
true.
I mean, Mizzou is not picking like Kog'Maw top lane or something.
Right.
It'll be Jack's jungle for Kites. We'll see what Mizzou wants to go with on 5 here for support. Seraphine is the hover, which is
That's interesting.
Seraphine has been changed a bit recently. Got some pretty big nerfs because she was very, very strong a couple weeks ago. But
Yeah, they definitely tried to play him off. Like, they were trying to make Seraphine stronger for,
Yeah.
like, mid lane, but it seemed to
they've
mostly
always wanted
be...
Seraphine to be a mid laner, but she will
Right.
never be a mid laner.
She's so strong on the bottom lane. So,
That's a good
there's the Melio. I almost
Yeah.
said.
I think that's an underrated one with Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw
Definitely.
already kind of the, you know, he's kind of like just a missile. He just sits back and launches auto attacks from off your screen, and now with the Milio,
So
he
it's
gets the
getting-
extended range.
Right, exactly.
It is, I mean, well, Mizzou has Cassante, but he's kind of, bruiser, assassin, tank. And then Jax has some good engage as well. UND has good engage, but no real super front line. Obviously, Renekton's
Yeah.
going to be pretty beefy, but I don't know. I mean, these are two interesting compositions. I need to know why we didn't pick Akshan.
Hey, like I said, he could just be saving it for game
I
2.
feel like I'm gonna look up the numbers here real quick because I'm confident that
Gotta check your sources.
yeah, I'm confident that Akshan is a good matchup into Ahri.
But is Syndra better? We never know.
That's true. We'll check the numbers. So Ahri versus Akshan.
What source are you using here?
I'm using U.GG Emerald Plus.
Yeah, okay.
U.GG Emerald Plus. So Ahri has a 46% win rate into Akshan,
Okay.
which is
okay.
exactly what I expected.
Yeah.
And versus Syndra, it has a 54% win rate versus Syndra. So we
Yeah,
kind of,
maybe.
I mean, but that's
It
a
is-
54% win rate against Syndra's not piloted by Syndra.
Exactly. Yes.
This guy's a beast.
It's
so.
a very and he plays it a lot. It's something he's confident
true.
on, and that always plays a role. Win rates are only like 50% of what goes into picking a champion. You
True.
gotta base your own confidence.
Yeah, I do wonder if I don't know if the Azir global ban has been lifted yet or not. I also don't think that applies to the collegiate level, but maybe it's in for the NECC. Right now, at least as far as I know, Azir is still globally banned because there's just a game-breaking bug where he
Yeah.
just goes and he can blink essentially and be behind you.
Nice.
But I don't know if that is still a problem. I would imagine it was fixed with this patch, but
Hopefully.
this is an interesting draft for sure. Mizzou with some really good engage tools. Seraphine ult, Syndra E, of course.
Mhm.
Cassante is really good at peeling as well. They have a very good peel for the Zeri.
Oh yeah.
Jax is beneficial for that.
She's a
Seraphine
pretty
is
high
good.
mobility champ too. So.
Yeah, for sure. For the side of UND, their draft is definitely interesting. I know Kog'Maw's just not a champ we see picked very often in general.
Mhm.
But Bel'Veth is one that is very, very strong. We see Kites take that one a lot. And then Ahri is always going to be a pretty stable laner. She's in a pretty good spot right now with Malignance Rush into Lich Bane.
Yeah.
You get level 16 Ahri and your ult's a 24-second cooldown. And then, Renekton, Cassante, you can pretty much go to bed. So
Yeah, I definitely think the most interesting lanes are probably going to be, the mid lane matchup. We'll just have to see how Jim can work around that such a high win rate and see if he can really bring out the mechanics to make the lane work in his favor.
Sure. One of the things in this matchup is why I imagine Ahri has a higher win rate than solo queue is because Ahri does clear waves faster and is obviously much more mobile and can be more playmaking oriented in team fights. But Syndra definitely scales a lot harder in terms of just raw damage.
Right.
But Ahri has a lot of options besides that, of course, with more utility with the charm and things like that. But, we've seen Jim hit 5-man stuns on regular occasions. So.
Yes, very true.
But yeah, that's the drafts for game number 1 in this quarterfinal NECC playoffs match. Mizzou versus the University of North Dakota. We're going to go to a very quick break while we wait out the spectator delay. We'll be right back. Alrighty, we are here. We are back, ready for game number 1 between these two teams to start. Mizzou versus the University of North Dakota. And so far, nothing super interesting level 1, just a 5-point from everyone, except they have, UND has their support watching the mid lane, which is interesting.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I think we talked about this last time. That's something that I've done in a lot of my games is go stand near that bush there instead of, or they're fully in the mid lane. I didn't
No,
see
they're
that.
just watching
in
underneath the
lane.
mid-tier 1.
That is interesting. I'm at, in that river there. Oh, they do it seems like they're just using mana, not really. Oh, a little bit of poke there.
Landed 1 out of 3 W procs from Ari. Very strong. Nothing too surprising in terms of keystones or runes here. It's a mirror matchup in terms of summoner spells in the bot lane. Flash cleanse for both flash cleanse for both AD carry, flash heals for both supports.
Pretty sleeper, I don't know.
Yeah, no, aggressive combat augments. I mean, it's
But-
double enchanted. What you expect?
Yes, looking at these champions, it's kind of what you expect. Like maybe they'd go and ignite, but there's probably not going to be that much fighting going on.
Yeah, fairly unlikely. The top lane matchup is certainly Renekton favored in terms of trading early on. Just the nature of the bruiser versus tank, but when you hit that level 6 mark as Cassandra, you definitely have options to fight. I believe Ben solo started his Raptors and then went Raptors Krugs into red, so he could come bot. I don't believe he'll be level 3 quite yet. He could go bot early, or he can just go straight to his top side, but his clear is certainly a reasonable amount slower than his opposition because the UND jungler OT Gator did get a leash, and now because of that is going to invade into this blue. There are pings down on it from the Mizzou side, but for the moment, Kites is not going to notice it. He's just going to take these these wolves and walk straight into a Belveth. Will be level 3 to level 3. Blue buff has been started. Wolves were taken by Kites, but he's going to lose his blue buff because the Renekton moves in. He can blast cone back in. Wade is moving in as well. Kites trying to stop the stun from Renekton. Will do so. Will be stunned up now. Now Sonoba Mochi attempting to move over, but does not land the W. Kites forced to flash. CT Shark faking very low in the top side. OT Gator did claim the blue buff, but is not going to get any lethal damage down. The Renekton makes it out. JKM now moving in. This is Wade trying to find something, but he's very low on mana. Kites diving in and dying for first blood. Belveth manages to make it out, at least for the time being. Now Wade Rush in a lot of trouble. It's a double kill for the opposing mid laner. UND very, very strong in that early top side jungle fight, and Mizzou loses a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the Raptors did the move so quickly, really kind of not in their favor there, even though Jim moved over as well. They really keep it in their favor in the whole fight and take 2 kills out of it.
Yeah, Ben Kites did not have to jump in there, I think. I think the play is probably just dead. It's Cassante early, just no damage.
Especially because he already flashed. It's better just to get out while you can.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. He's going to miss quite a bit from that. He loses his blue buff. He gets 1 crab at least, but slows down his clear. He'll be down a little bit of golden XP for a while. Just a matter of seeing he's able to find something and make something happen here early on. This first Drake spawns in 25 seconds. I don't know which one it is. We can pan over to the Drake pit when we get the chance. We have some fighting the top lane, but it is still level 4 to level 4, so not a ton Cassante could do. I mean, JKM should win this Drake pretty hard because of this massive wave that Renekton is fighting in, but it's really not. It's close, truly, especially with that heal coming in. Now, Wade Rush going to be in a lot of trouble here. Missed 2 Qs, and the auto attacks is all the Renekton needs. CT Shark with a solo kill in the top lane.
It was really a pot diff.
It's Hex
get that
Drake.
extra HP and make it out with a kill.
Yeah, I mean, Renekton is always going to be stronger at those early levels than a Cassante. For the way these things go. OT Gator is going to play for these grubs here early on. I think by far and away, Belveth is the best user of these Void Grubs than anyone else. We are seeing the new changes in action as the Void Grubs no longer get a shield. They just heal for, I think, 30%, 35% after one of them dies. There'll be another invade as OT Getter goes for this Gromp. It's about half HP though.
The sides are back off, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, there's once he sees that Kites is on his wolves, there's nothing he can do. He did not claim all 3 of the first grubs, only the first 2. So there is still 1 to grab if you're Mizzou. If you can prevent 5 or 6 grubs on a Belveth especially, it's really, really nice.
Makes a huge difference.
6 grubs Belveth, especially if you get Rift Herald later, spawns like
It's crazy.
It's too many units.
it like doubles the wave just by having. What are her little?
There's Void Mites, and then she spawns something else.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called, but her own little
gremlins.
Yes, her own little void gremlins to help her take down those towers. And you've got a fed Belveth in late game. It hurts.
Yeah, Belveth is
towers get demolished.
A very high scaling jungler for sure. Some trading in the bot lane, and it is not looking good for Inferno. Once that Milio W goes down, Cogma can do so much damage, but it's Ghost Toasty's dancing forward. I think he just wants to clear the wave, and the trade looks alright. Some health chunked out on both sides. Sinalochi now has level 6, but the charm gets the prediction of Sinto Momochi's flash.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that's gotta hurt.
yeah, that's about as well played as you can get from this Ahri, predicting the flash from the Syndra to secure the kill in the middle lane. And so far, not looking super good here for Mizzou, down almost 2,000 gold.
Yeah, unfortunately the only lane that seems to be up just CS alone is bot lane. Every other lane we got kills both from top and mid.
Ahri does not have ult, but is level 7. Belveth W is going to miss. So absolutely nothing else will happen here in the bot lane. Kites is there to assist as well, but level 5 on both junglers and no Ahri ult means there's not a ton of options to make any sort of play happen.
It really seems this patch that they're just a bit of a skirmish there between the mid laners, but oh,
Wow,
Ahri
gets the flash
but
out of the Ahri. That's kind of surprising. I think maybe concerned that Kites was going to jump and try to get the Counter-Strike down, but no, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. And he's pushing an ult to get out, and she's worried about the stun, but
I mean, even then you have, I guess it's level 6 Syndra with a lost chapter. It's definitely not weak on the Syndra, just behind the Ahri, who already has that full completed Malignance, which, I don't know, the Malignance should not give 20 ultimate abilities. It's stupid. Up about 900 gold in the mid lane, but 500 gold lead in the bot lane between these 80 carries. Jungler for UND up a bit, as well as CT Shark in the top lane, especially with that solo kill. CS is pretty much evened out, but the solo kill is going to propel quite a bit, of course. Mizzou just hoping to hold on. Obviously, their scaling is very, very good with the Zeri and the Syndra.
I think their main hope is, just survive through the lane phase, and then you've got a pretty strong Zeri right now, and once your Syndra scales as well, it can be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I think if you're Mizzou, it is a little unfortunate that after you're grabbing the first one, I think you could potentially hope to Dragon Stack. That the first 2 are some of the strongest souls in the game. No Mountain Soul possible and no Hextech Soul possible either. But obviously, I mean, Ocean and Infernal are both really, really strong. Even in this game in particular, Cloud Soul is really good with Zeri, with Jax, and Cassante. And the auto-combat movement speed is also very, very valuable. I think it's undersold at times. People talk about Cloud Soul. But so far, in terms of neutral objectives, Mizzou with 1 grub and UND with 2. They could play for 5 as they respawn here in just a moment. And then, of course, the only dragon taken so far was claimed by Mizzou as well. Kites will secure this Gromp, and OT Gator won't accomplish much. Is up a level. Now will be an aggressive fight here as Jack's ult comes down. Belveth going in. A lot of damage coming out onto this Belveth.
Wow.
Has not used Belveth E yet, which can always change the tides of a fight, but chunk onto both junglers. They have push in top lane and push in mid lane. It's going to be really hard to try and contest these grubs, especially with the way that UND is positioning.
Yeah. It is unfortunate that Jack's been able to do quite a bit of damage there, but with the laners being able to move much more easily.
bad with the first grab.
Yeah.
They're hitting
Maybe
like
the damage is gonna matter.
he doesn't have E. It's not gonna die, but it's pretty close.
Too close for comfort, but he's gonna make it out with. Is that 5 total?
That's 5 for you. Yeah. So they'll spawn one void. I think they're called void mites. One of them is called void mites. It's either Belveths, are called they're called void link. The ones that spawn from Belveth are called voidlings. Okay,
yeah.
so Belveths are voidlings, and then the void grubs when they hit the turret are called void mites. So they'll spawn one because they have 5. They could look for a dive here. They're not going to do such a thing, however, but you know, since the early skirmishing in the top side jungle, and of course around that dragon as well, nothing substance happening in terms of kills, but this Renekton has developed a very big CS lead here in the top lane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point they're just waiting for their moment. Mizzou is to get up a little bit of gold and maybe have a chance here.
They're going to immediately get the cleanse out of the Kog'Maw. Kites could potentially be in trouble here, especially with Ahri moving down now, going to flash away. Seraphine ult lands onto 2 with a wreck TP down. Massive Dog's already going to pick up 1 with Kites falling. Inferno the next on the list. They'll take him down as well. A very fast play from UND takes down 2 members of Mizzou, and you know, didn't catch the TP from the top laner coming in, and 5 members bot. Not a ton you can do there.
Yeah, the TP from the Renekton behind as well as the Ahri flank really just put Jackson in a bad position there. It was unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, his support tries to keep him alive with the Encore, but just not quite enough.
I'm not sure how many it hit as well. The Renekton hit all 5.
Yeah,
So.
it hit 2, I think. I mean, the Renekton TP behind was just a little too strong.
Oh yeah.
Especially, I mean, this is the moment where Renekton is really strong as well at the 13-minute mark. Still fairly early on in the game, especially with that finished Eclipse. It's going to do a lot. And he really missed, I don't even think he missed a single wave top either, which feels pretty bad.
Yeah.
And think, okay, we're finally going to clear out the pink ward now, but I mean, the vision control here for UND is pretty remarkable. They might go for play here bot, so I won't call for anything yet, as Ghostosies could potentially be in trouble here. Can ride the wall, but will get canceled. Flashing on out, going to use his Aerial now, but still taking about half HP, so is forced to use a summoner spell, but well played to at least not die. He's going to come in now from JKM, immediately charmed. The Electrocute proc coming in. LFW will not land. He's just going to go unstoppable and head on out. Encore is up in a moment. JKM very low and now falling. It's the Ahri once more who grabs another. Kites is stuck in the pit. Does he have a ward? I'm not totally sure. Okay, he's got an ally to jump to. Inferno gets him out of the pit. But now, that's the first turret going down in favor of the Renekton. UND is going to claim that next Drake, so it slows down Mizzou's even hopes at dragon stacking, and it will be Infernal Soul here in this one, and it is not looking good for Mizzou so far.
Yeah, it's really just a series of unfortunate events, it seems. You know, Zeri getting trapped there, having to flash and ult. Just, you know, I feel like the ult at that point is just a little scared, you know, just to say, I have the damage to at least kill one of you if you keep going. But,
yeah.
Sante dying so quickly on the way to go. I definitely want it. Just having to back off is very unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is there, but I think if you're not just immediately Cassante ulting someone back, it's really hard to accomplish anything.
I mean, they also had all 5 there, UND, right? So
No, Renekton was top lane.
Oh.
4v4, but I mean, it quickly became 4v4 because Wade died so quickly. Sendo Mochi with a stun to keep himself alive. Worked out for the time being. I mean, UND just has total control of this map for the moment, and certainly not something you hope to see if you're Mizzou. Charm is going to land on to Wade, but there's not much else that this Ahri can do. Is 5-0 on the Ahri, I think. Has not faced since The first, yeah, sitting on 1400, so not quite enough for Lichbane, but getting pretty close. This Ahri will be very, very scary, especially if you're someone like Ghost Toast.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, Ahri's just doing a lot of damage and it's only going to go up from here. So if Mizzou wants to have a chance, they really got to capitalize on some of those shutdowns and bounties.
And even more so now, this Renekton is incredibly fed. He just pinned another tier 1, picking up the bot tier 1. He's got so much gold, up 50 CS nearly on to JKM. It is a challenge for sure if you are Mizzou now. This bot side jungle belongs to UND. This red buff will be taken away. I mean, they have complete control of the map.
Yeah, I think it's one of the unfortunate things of relying on such a scale-heavy comp is that you know you're going to be down a bit early, but it's about, you know, not getting too far behind. And yeah, like I said, they kind of have to make a move soon before it's too late.
The fight in the top jungle, just as time goes on, hurts more and more. Just so much loss there, especially the top lane becomes infinitely harder, mid lane becomes infinitely harder. It's very, very challenging. Ghost Toasties is, I mean, he's up 40 CS. This area is strong, 9 CS per minute, but
He sees a couple kills and she'll be competitive for sure.
yeah, but I mean, the issue is your front line strong enough to allow you to scale, and even like, I mean, obviously Zeri's not so much about ramping up to Giga move speed anymore since when she came out, but you still want to stack up with the ultimate a little bit, and my concern is now, especially when this Lichbane gets finished by this Ahri, and this Renekton already on 2 items that both
one shot pretty quickly.
both Wade Rush and Kites are like papered to this Renekton.
Oh,
like this guy is so strong, and Ahri as well. It's gonna be a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the possibility of getting perfect games is already off the table. We already took the dragon, so.
Yes, that's true. They, Sante's just now starting the second item, but the others are on there, working on their
Fast play onto Inferno now, has the Encore, is taken so low, gets it off, but Charm is dodged now by Ghost Toasties, but the quick play onto the Mizzou support takes him out immediately. Thankfully, we're still just under 2 minutes away from Baron spawning, so nothing for UND to take, but a very fast play made by them secures another kill on over, I think, that one being this first of the game for the Belveth. Now Cinemoshi could be in trouble here, trying to find a stun angle, instead just flash on over. Kites now effectively on the wrong side of the rift, kicked on back, no stun will land. Does not have jump either, but he'll be alright and makes it out alive. I mean, this bot side jungle is just all UND all the time. Kite's gonna try to make a play onto the Kog'Maw, they'll just get his flash instead. This dragon spawning in 15 seconds. Renekton just took a tier 2 turret. This guy has like infinite money.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be hard for them to come back, you know, if Renekton's just going to...
Inferno falling again. This Ahri is just so easy to make plays and be effective with, especially with the lead that they've been given. And now this second Infernal, or this first Infernal Drake will very easily fall. If UND so chooses, they're going to target this tier 1 turret instead.
Yeah, I think Ahri just is a strong champion overall, having the CC as well as so much movement, and being able to get so strong early. 6-0 now. It is very much going in their favor.
This guy is like so giga-fed on Ahri. It makes it really, really challenging to deal with, but the other thing too is like Mizzou has no easy lockdown. Like it's so easy for Ahri to escape and engage from a Jax, to dodge out on a Syndra stun, Seraphine ult. If you're not able to hit one of these things and immediately blow this guy up, then I mean, if you land one, then you can land the rest.
Right.
But there's just nothing.
You kind of have to rely on Ahri ult being down to even have a chance.
Its cooldown is so low.
Right.
We might be able to, I don't know if we could look at it. I think if we click on Ahri's portraits and then hover over her R, we should be able to see the cooldown. Yeah, so sub 50 seconds and she's level 13.
You're right.
So I played Ahri yesterday and I got Ahri ult cooldown to 24 seconds. So it's pretty OP.
Yeah.
I did go Lucidity Boots instead of Sork Shoes. Obviously, when you're 6-0 on Ari, you should have Sork Shoes. He can definitely pivot from more of a playmaking style, focus on Charm Ari build to a full damage. Stun will not land from Sido and Mochi, so be hard to find and engage. Now, played the Ruin King slow. Requires Ghost Toasties to slide on over the wall. Renekton is on the flank. Both sums are available for Mizzou 80 carry. Flashing forward, they're just going to turn their focus to Cinder Mochi. They know he doesn't have black. He's going to go immediately to the Kog'Maw. Big encore, but there's just no damage. Ghost Toastie's managing to stay alive, at least for the moment, but is finally going to fall. It's Massive Dog who gets the kill. 2 members falling for Mizzou immediately. And even with at least a 4-man Seraphine ult, there's just no damage to go on top of it.
Yeah, with Zeri only having Runins and
It's just so low damage.
Yeah, really could have been big for even get 1 kill, but unfortunately just not enough. And I don't think any of them were taking tower or anything significant. So
Yeah,
really
I mean, UND's ability to make plays and really snowball their advantages has been the biggest factor here, I think, in game 1 so far.
Definitely.
And Mizzou is still looking for their first kill of the match. I mean, at this point, I think there's a couple different options. You know they're probably going to Baron on spawn, as they are right now. 22-minute mark. A little later than spawn, but so hard for you to compete. They know they're on it with the blue trinket, but Jax's bottom, this Baron is looking pretty dead. If you're Mizzou, I think you can try and play around sides and potentially get a pick, but even then, like, both members that will be in side lanes for UND are so hard to kill.
Oh, yeah.
Ari is incredibly difficult to catch, and then this Renekton is now on 3 items with Merc Treads, with Sterax. The Sterax spike, I think, is I mean, people don't really talk about it a ton, but that item is so strong.
Oh, yeah.
Just in the flat shield that it gives you, I think it's probably around 600 or 700 for Shark here at level 15. You know, Mizzou, at this point, just look for anything. Hopefully capitalize on a mistake that UND makes, but so far it's not many mistakes have been made.
Yeah, they really, I mean, the only ones that have a chance of killing are Kog'Maw and Emilio, and they have not been alone.
Can't even catch him,
once.
yeah.
The one time.
This is the play you're looking for. Kites is looking for the initial one. They will take down the Emilio, a very decisive play from the Mizzou jungler. Looking for the Kog'Maw next, and we'll take him down as well. That's 2 for Kites. I mean, that's the only option you have. You know that Ari and Renekton, they're playing 1-3-1, so you just make a fast play on the 3. They might lose a lot for it as this Ari continues to push and go for this inhibitor turret, but this is a 4v2, but you can tell still not feeling incredibly confident about fighting against this Renekton, especially with no sums on the Ari, but a nice stun down on to the Belveth, now one on to Shark. Sterax has already gone down, big stuns on many members, but Massive Dog has already picked up the first. So many low health bars. Cinnamon Mochi will pick up the kill onto the Belveth, but the 2 targets with the biggest shutdowns are both the ones that make it out alive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, finally they get their first couple of kills there, so maybe they can turn it in their favor, but like you said, the 2 strongest champions have yet to go down. So it's all about, you know, getting what they can out of it. Thankfully, they lost an inhibitor yet? I don't think so.
Just the inhibitor
just
on
the turrets,
top lane. I mean, they did a lot of damage to Renekton, but I mean, the Sterax value and then, of course, just the natural healing that Renekton has was just a bit too strong, and we're not quite able to take him out. But both AD carries still on 2 items, but now the Ari actually opting for a Banshee's Veil, which, I mean, I thought she was hard to hit before. She's now blocking the first spell you throw at her, which, I mean,
unkillable.
yeah. Now, I mean, it makes it so even if something like a Miracle Seraphine double E hits, it won't root, it'll just slow. Typically, if Kites is going on the Ari, he's going to have to lead with Q and then E, so the Q will block or will remove the spell shield, but again, still so hard to achieve what Mizzou wants to achieve, especially now with the lead that's been built. And they got a ton of value out of the Baron, and now on Infernal Soul Point, which not something you really want to deal with against an Ari and Kog'Maw especially.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard to say how they could make a comeback at this point, you know, even with getting those 3 kills. It is just Jax that has them,
Mizzou really need Zeri to have a really good team fight and be able to fight, but I think Renekton Flash is up soon. Makes the game way harder to play if you're Zeri.
yeah. I'm also not sure what item he is
I think it's
wielding.
Navori.
Yeah, which definitely works for Zeri.
It's good, and it's more damage than his other 2 items, but the charm misses. It is still going to get the flash out of Ghost Toasties. Renekton now dashing forward, but it will immediately dash back out. UND just going to take what they're able to get, which is for now just the mid-tier 2, but I mean just knocking on the door of the Mizzou base as each minute passes.
Oh yeah, I think it's, you know, Zeri doesn't have that Navori yet, and so it's all about getting it and also having ult. You know, without Zeri ult, you're probably not going to do much damage. Definitely not Renekton. So just getting all the pieces in place to make a big play is really what they need.
Yeah, and with that BF sword, I would imagine Renekton's next item is a Guardian Angel, which when he already hasn't died, so
Yeah.
now with the guy who hasn't died yet buying a GA, it makes it that much harder. Still, I mean, I think Mizzou has some options with the Syndra scaling. Syndra now on 2 items, but a ways away from the 3rd, which is already finished, and then some by his lane opposition with the Ahri. Renekton finishing that Guardian Angel. Quick Blade's coming in now for Ghost Toasties. It's just very, very far behind. Across the rift here, I mean, 80 carries are even, but the 80 carries have been effectively non-factors here in Game 1.
Yeah, at least so far.
Now, UND will grab all of the vision control in the top side jungle, knowing that this Baron is spawning in 40 seconds or so. Mizzou does have 1 ward that went uncaught, but no wards in river, no wards in the pit, things like that. 1 blue trinket for Mizzou. 1 blue trinket, 1 sweeper. I think this 1 sweeper is a mistake. Obviously, I don't think Kites should have sweeper because he's playing Jax, but Cassante or Syndra need sweeper or blue trinket. This yellow trinket does not provide a ton of value at this point. And because we've seen how effective UND has been with their vision control, not having the ability to, only having 1 person who can effectively take out, you know, basic yellow wards is not going to be incredibly successful.
Right, and comparatively, they have 3 sweepers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they just have so much more ability to figure out anything that Mizzou puts down.
Yeah, this Baron is on the menu here for UND, and Mizzou doesn't look like they're going to attempt to contest at all. It's already down so low. Yeah. It's going to be dead pretty much instantly. And now they're going to have Baron for what will be Soul for them in just over a minute. UND has just played this one really, really well from the early fight on the first jungle clear. Really changed the tides of this game, and they have not looked back since.
Yeah, that is true. You know, it was, gosh, I mean, that plus, you know, the top lane just going in Renekton's favor so quickly with them being strong early. Ahri really playing into the fact that Syndra doesn't have that much mobility to get away from charms, so once Flash is gone, you pretty much secure a kill.
This Cassante pick is just not looking good for Mizzou. Even in what it can be good at in team fights, it's just too far behind. I mean, he is on 2 items now, but now a TP coming in. They're going to try to make a play on this Renekton, who has just now popped the Dominus, but Ahri coming in. Kites will just explode. They're going to keep looking. The charm will land on the JKM. He has all out, but is CC'd for far too long. OT Gator will take him down. That might just be game with all of the frontline tools dead for Mizzou. Flash forward, looking for the Syndra, and Syndra Mochi has already fallen. Yeah, I mean, and this is what we talked about with 5 grubs. It's a nice encore, but there's just nothing left. Cleanse comes through. Those Toasties tries to make it out, and he will make it to the fountain. But he'll have to sit and watch alone as his Nexus is taken out. UND come to game 1 after getting beaten by this Mizzou team. It looked a little different for both sides in the fall and come out very, very strong. A dominant Game 1 win for North Dakota.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely, from what, minute 1 or 2
I
that
mean,
they just
whenever,
from that on.
from pretty much as soon as Ben walked to his blue buff and then decided to jump back into the fight, they just,
Kept it
there
going.
was no doubt.
Yeah. It is hard to see, but they definitely played their best, and it was a good match to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Hoping for a turnaround here by Mizzou. We are in the quarterfinals of the NECC playoffs, and hoping to see a turnaround, bringing us to a Game 3. But before we can do that, Mizzou will have to win Game 2 first. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll be back with our second game between these two teams in just a moment. Hello, welcome back. Game number 2 draft is underway, and we are already approaching the halfway mark. We see same bands for, I believe, both
Both
sides,
teams, yeah. It's the same.
but swapping sides now. UND is going to lead off with the Renekton. I mean, it went so well for them last time. Why not pick the same stuff? Renekton already so far. Rumble and Jarvan are the first 2 picks for Mizzou.
Does Rumble still have that glitch where you can just kind of burn everyone always with the E? I don't remember how it works. But
I didn't hear anything about a bug or anything, but
I mean, this was
Rumble,
months ago.
yeah, I doubt it. Rumble's just a very strong laner, is one that bullies melee matchups, and we've seen a lot of strength with it internationally and across pretty much every region. Hoping to see the same in the top lane, because obviously the Xante pick just was not working out from game number 1. Vi is the pick here for UND.
Not
Hui
the
is
exact
the
same comp.
hover for Mizzou, and they're going to lock that one in. I am unsure how many games Cinemochi has on Hui.
Could it be support?
I mean, it could be support, but I don't think Hui support's very good.
No.
It's definitely been played before,
Yes.
but I think it's fine. It's just like not a worse version necessarily. It's just like having a poke mage. It's like
Yeah.
Brand or Vel'Koz. It's like he has a little bit more utility with like
least he
the
has a
movement speed and
shield,
the
yeah.
has a shield. It's like cut by 40%.
I'm just saying, it's more than Brand.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it looks like Mr. Concho Bars 13, known Valorant professional, is drafting for the Mizzou team for this game number 2.
He just play
Advising, I see.
He does play a little bit of League, so at least he's not.
Yeah, I used to play League. I don't know how much League he plays anymore, but still, we'll see what Mizzou's rest of the draft looks like. It'll be 80 carry bands across the board. Varus, Caitlyn, Kaisa, and Seraphine all taken out. So 5 bot lane bans for UND. When the pool is thinned by this much, Zaya will be the hover.
It's a pretty
for
good
Mizzou.
pick, especially if you get a
Good pick, yeah.
strong engaged support to go with it.
I mean, he can definitely just play Rakan if it's
Well,
open. I mean,
yes.
Rakan will probably be taken by UND here.
Yeah, I mean, they could leave it open, but it's a very strong pair. I mean, it's what they were putting the game to laying together. So
Sintomomochi has 2 ranked games on Hui this season.
he's played them before, yeah.
They were both losses.
Saying I first time Toy the other day, and it doesn't take that long to figure out the abilities.
I
So
mean, you can.
you played it
sure,
before, it should be alright.
I don't know if when you're down 0-1 in a playoff match is the time to do it, but it'll be Zeri Lulu for UND. So now Mizzou will reveal if it's going to be Hui support, pick something else in the middle lane. I mean, you could. Zaya Hui sounds kind of bad. Zillion is the hover here for Mizzou, and they're not going to lock it yet.
So how is the Lulu Rakan matchup? It doesn't sound very fun.
It's definitely not fun for Rakan, but it's playable. It's not bad at all. I mean, Zaya Rakan is just too strong.
Right,
It's
I think
open.
you're trolling a little bit if you don't lock in Rakan here, but
Yeah. So I like the composition. I mean, Mizzou just picked in role order, so we could have just done an inclined draft. Everyone else did except for UND's mid juggle, and those were inconsequential picks in the way that the draft is ordered. So, for now, this is the comps that we will see for game number 2. A lot of the same for UND. Of course, the solo lane, this Renekton Ahri, when they found that much success in game number 1, not particularly surprised to see them. And then changing out the Belveth for a Vi, and then the bot lane of pretty similar of hyper carry, 80 carry, and enchanter support. Last time it was Kog'Maw Milio. This time it'll be Zeri Lulu.
hopefully these matchups are a little more favorable for Mizzou, at least having that movement with Hui, definitely more than Syndra, and I'm not sure about the Rumble Renekton matchup, how you see that going.
Yeah, I mean, Rumble's just it's similar with Renekton in that he's very, very strong in lane, is known for doing massive amounts of damage, especially in the early game. So Mizzou has options for sure. I think their front to back is pretty good. Obviously don't have, I mean, they have a pretty good engage tool with Jarvan. Rumble Jarvan is always good. You put him in a box, and then Rumble puts the ultimate down on top of him. Puts, you know, the flaming carpet on top of him. So Now, if you're Mizzou, it's just about playing a much cleaner game. Those early mistakes really got punished by UND. You know that's what they're capable of doing, and hope that you don't get punished for the same, or don't give them those openings here in game number 2, and then bring us to a game number 3.
This does seem like a bit of a safer draft for Mizzou in the sense that they have much more movement, they have stronger early damage, both with Zaya and Rumble, so hopefully it goes a bit more in their favor this time around.
Yeah, I definitely like the Jarvan a lot more than I like Jack's jungle. I'm interested to see how the Hui goes for Mizzou there in the middle lane, but we will have to wait and see. We'll go to a quick break before we get into game 2, without the spectator delay and all that jazz like we always do. But this is our drafts between UND and Mizzou NECC playoffs quarterfinals. Mizzou down 1-0. We'll have to see if they can tie us up at 1 apiece when we come back after the short break. Hello, hello, welcome back. Mizzou versus UND. Game number 2 is underway. Mizzou down 1-0 in this pretty important quarterfinals playoff match against a team that they 3-0'd not that long ago in the finals. Obviously, both these rosters have switched up a little bit, but Mizzou hoping to find some more success here in the second game.
Yeah, I will say it's interesting. I guess they had swapped out their top and support, correct? So could explain, I mean, both Mizzou and UND swapped out their top laners. That's a completely new matchup for them. So definitely interesting to see how it plays out this game with a slightly different team comp.
Yeah, for sure. Interested to see how things will go, but obviously some unique picks we don't see often. I definitely don't think we've seen the Hui locked in for Sento Momochi before. But it's one that they feel comfortable enough to pick here in this playoff match that we'll see what success he is able to find.
Yeah. Looking at the summer spells, we got teleport for both of the solo laners on UND again this time, so they'll still have probably similar map presence as they did last game. Got the ghost for both bot laners, which is definitely more interesting than the cleanse they had last game.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely. Once again, this Vi is well, I was going to say decently ahead in tempo, but is going red blue romp, so not really. Red and Krugs killed so far by Kites, but the Vi will be able to be proactive here on the top side of the map. Obviously, Renekton Rumble matchup is one, especially when Rumble goes Ignites. That can be very, very punishing if the Rumble does not find success. He's going to drop the Ignite early, but missed out on the E. He needs to try and get a Summoner spell here, but can't do it. That's the Ignite burned. I mean, this Renekton will miss a decent amount here because the wave is pushing into JKM, but overall, not a bad trade. And of course, the Vi kind of wastes time on the clear by having to come top, but is a little unlucky you didn't get a Summoner spell out.
Yeah, definitely. Seems like a pot pick again. Having that extra healing in your
Thorn
back
Shield
pocket.
is too OP.
Yeah,
Nerf it again. We'll get the TP out of the Renekton. See, this is where it becomes difficult, because now you do have a pretty big wave that will crash into this Renekton, but you don't have TP. Flash is up. I don't think stun has been used. Flash Q from the Vi. OT Gator will find him. Now flashing forward is JKM. First blood for Wayne. Looking for more. Can't quite find it, but what a great turnaround.
Yeah, and it's really fun to be able to get the first blood, extra gold there. It's definitely, even though you're going 1 for 1, you get an extra 100 gold. So
yeah,
definitely
great turnaround from Wade Rush to not just die for free, makes a very heads-up play to secure himself some gold, and won't miss out on nearly as much now because of it.
Oh yeah, and I mean, could have to flash for it, but Renekton flashed as well, and you started it, so.
Now they're going to try to make a play, but Cinemomochi has the flash. Flashing forward is the Ahri, looking for the lethal damage. Will find it onto Cinemomochi. Now the W away from the Jarvan won't be enough, as it will be a 1-for-1 here in the middle lane so far. Once it's the junglers, it kind of becomes a wet noodle fight, so not a ton else will happen, but so far, at least here in the early game, a different story from game number 1, where Mizzou is finding some success, even if it is just trades.
Oh yeah. Definitely looking better than last time.
It's hard to look much worse than last time, so that's, you know, we're open for improvement here. Now, this Vi is here on the bot side of the map, but no play to be made. We'll secure this bot crab, however. I think that's both crabs for the Vi, which is a little unfortunate. Or no. There's no way it's both crabs. I guess it is both crabs. He has not cleared his bot side camps at all. So I think Wolves, Raptors, and Krugs are all level 1. Which is a little silly if you are a Vi, but is now 2-0, so isn't punished all that much. Rather is kind of benefited by skipping some of those early camps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do sacrifice most of the camps, but instead you get to clean up the kills in a way, so seems worth it to me.
This is now going to be a look here from TP Shark onto JKM. The Vi is here, the Tunneler is finished, trying to dodge out on the Q, can't quite do it. Drops the Ignite, but the Vi is just doing too much damage. It's really unfortunate for JKM to drop the Ignite to find something. I don't think he ever has lethal damage there. So it does make your 1v1 a lot harder against this Renekton, especially since that Ignite will almost certainly not be up when both sides hit level 6.
Yeah, not having teleport either, so having to put yourself in an unfortunate wave state top lane as well.
Yeah, he misses a couple. I don't think he misses a ton in the top lane. You see Cinemomochi now roaming to the bot lane. Could be a play here. All sums are up for the Lulu as the exhaust goes down, but Cinemomochi finds a quick one as Inferno lands the grand entrance, and now it will ensure that this Zeri misses a bunch of CS as well, at least a full wave, or excuse me, the Lulu will miss out on all of this XP, and then of course it'll take the Zeri a bit to make it back.
Yeah, I feel like the Polygon player on the way was probably a necessity. I feel like you gotta save that for the Rakan whenever he tries to engage, so thankfully Way was able to capitalize on that mistake.
Yeah, I mean, Senro Mochi is not one that we see often roam down to the bot lane. He's more of a guy who will stay in lane, farm up and scale, and then be a monster in those late game team fights. But now instead he knows that he has a timer to make his way to the bot lane and impact for the benefit of his AD carry and even himself. I mean, he got the kill, so a pretty good look from Mizzou so far. Also, at the same time, Kites picked up the first 3 Void Grubs. This is the style we're more used to with Mizzou since this new season came out, where Mizzou puts a big priority on those at the start.
We talked about this last time, but getting those, what do we call it, Void Mites, not the Void Runes. It makes a huge difference, especially in the late game, being able to take towers so much quicker if you get all 6 or even 5.
Yeah. Most definitely. Now this bot grab will go over to Mizzou. The question is if they want to try and grab this first Drake. There is a UND control ward in the pit they'll have to take care of, and Levi is on the bot half of the map, but Mizzou's bot lane does have push for the moment, as well as the mid lane. That is one of the things I know. I was looking at the solo queue win rates yesterday. Ari's like pretty similar to Syndra when it comes to a play matchup, about 55% win rate in favor of the Ari. They're trying to make a quick play flash away. This goes Toasties, but good split potentially will be in trouble here. Kites going to try to go forward onto the Zeri. Nice grand entrance looking for the opposing AD carry. We'll find it if it is donated over to Kites. The next one will be picked up by Inferno. So Mizzou not only claiming the neutral objective, but also 2 quick kills onto the bot lane of UND. Top lane, JKM is overheated. CT Shark will be slowed by this. Ignite is back up if he wants to try and turn, but it's really hard to turn. Vi is here as well. The play shield and the fear will not land. Have the shield for a moment, but it's not enough. The charm from the Ari lands on a Citadel Mochi, and it's Massive who picks up that one. So Mizzou gets a benefit on one side of the map and a pretty big detriment on the other as both solo laners fall.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say, that fight looked very much in UND's favor until Ari missed that charm and was a bit mispositioned there. And then Mizzou was able to capitalize that and secure the Drake. But then, Roman to the top side, and almost was a mirror image where Mizzou was able, UND was able to capitalize and get a couple kills off of that.
Most definitely. Kites will make his way to the top lane now. This Vi is they're pretty much dead even. They're going to go for something on a CT Shark flash forward. The Ignite won't do it. Ticking will not find lethal damage. The cease and desist is not enough either, but it is enough to get the flash out of OT Gator. I don't know. He would have fallen, especially with Rumble not even close to coming up, but now the charm lands onto Cinder Ramochi, lands the fear onto the Lulu, but falls in the mid lane. The opposing support really didn't have to do much. It probably would have been a solo kill, as now they will at least get this area ult out from King, but not a ton else here in the bot lane.
Yeah, I think unfortunately are able to, capitalize on the opposing team support roaming up to mid more, but I don't think they're able to get all the tower plate gold. And the Zeri ult as well. Zeri being that ult definitely takes away some of the power and damage and so.
Most definitely. Now UND will put big priority on this second spawning of grubs, so it will be 3 apiece, as you can see Kites on the bot side of the map. Next Drake not up for a while, so not a ton of neutral objectives to play for, as doing the same thing as he did on his first rotation of him, so he's only going to claim the first 2. I mean, this fellow doesn't spawn for another 3 minutes. If Kites happens to stroll by, he will claim it for himself. There was a solo kill in the top lane. JKM falling to Renekton, I think just engaging once he hit that level 6 with the Dominus, and now this Rumble counterpick is looking worse and worse by the day.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks okay. Every time we pan up there, it seems to be a lot more even and obviously able to do something in comparison to that last Cassante matchup, but definitely not what you're hoping for when you pick Flash Ignite Rumble Power.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Vi is going to have a bit more presence in the top lane and move there very quickly, so anytime it would be a 1v1, like rather than have the upper hand, quickly turns into a 2v1, where it's just a trade instead of just the kill.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that there are OP things that you need to ban, things like Senna, Gragas. Obviously, if they're played a lot by these players, it's valuable. Well, first, let's see if we got a play down near the bot lane. Kites. We have a ward put on him, and we're just going to flash out from King. That's plenty worth trade. Flash out of an AD carry. Not that Zeri is immobile, but definitely makes it easier to gank her within these next 5 minutes. They might look mid now with OT Gator standing here. Sendomochi does have flash, however. Instead, trying to focus on the Kites. The charm will cancel him. Massive dog now on a killing spree. This is what I was talking about before. I mean, if you're Mizzou, you 20 minutes ago just got dunked on by these two solo laners.
Oh yeah.
And so I know like Senna ban is good, Gragas ban is good, but it's not a, if you're gonna let both of these solo lane picks back open, they can't both be a combined 5 and 2 already at 12 minutes again.
Yeah, or you just have to have a plan for something to be a bit stronger in the run.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't seem like this Rumble or Way are going as they plan up to be.
I mean, obviously solo queue numbers aren't everything, but again, dating back to last patch into now where nothing has changed between these two champs, Ari has like a 58% win rate into Hui, and Hui has a 44% win rate overall.
Yeah.
Rumble's a good pick, but obviously, you know, his situation's been a little more different because the Vi has been top lane so frequently, but I mean, you just had so much trouble dealing with these two characters specifically,
Yeah.
that to then have it be happening again is, I don't know.
Yeah, it is not ideal for me.
I mean, you can see how much this matchup is changing now. This Renekton backing forward, gets the flash out from JKM. Could have one as he takes 2 tower shots, very low, but unfortunately did not drop the ignite. Shark misplaying it by quite a bit, but potentially going to range her to win. If he does just that, drops the ignite, that'll be a solo kill to JKM. Very well played, taking advantage of the over-aggression from the Renekton. Forcing thanks to tower shots makes things pretty easy. Kites now potentially in trouble, flashing away as the Zeri moves forward, but has no mana. Big charm onto 3. Root comes down to go. Kites now puts them all in a box, but it's Gator who goes on a rampage first. The Blade makes his way in, looking for the Zeri will find it as Sendomochi picks it up, so it'll be a 1-for-1 with the opposing AD carry falling. Now Inferno dashing back away, a nice sweep lands on a 1 Brain Edge to get a knock up as well as the Blade pull back, and Sendomochi will claim 2, a big shutdown for the Hui. And this is what I was just talking about. If you're going to let their solo laners get strong, you have to be equally as strong, and now you're setting yourself up for that type of success with 2 big shutdowns going over to Sendomochi's Hui.
Yeah, I gotta say, there's nothing better than playing Zaya and hitting that route to be able to get the kill. I just know that feels amazing, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big turn here from Kites. I mean, Inferno lands a grand entrance, lands a charm onto absolutely everyone. If this was last season and Gore Drinker still existed, he heals to full, by the way. But Sendomochi coming in, lands the ult. Obviously, everyone else gets out. But, you know, Inferno knowing his limits, ability to disengage, re-engage, finds the kill, gets some money into his mid laner's pocket.
I think that is why, you know, having Recon with Zaya as well is so nice. Knowing you can hit that route, and then he'll get the knockup as well with a chain CC and securing the kill always feels great to get your team back up.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, not something that I'm going to complain about now. Mizzou will still be at a deficit here, down 28.4 to 26.8k gold. So a bit of a lead, mostly in the form of CS and of course plates and turret. They're going to make a play on the Kites here as the cease and desist comes out. And this Jarvan still manages to stay alive for the moment. EQ out and he will survive. They could potentially turn this now with a Vi ult. Rumble ult coming through as well, but now JKM could be the one in trouble as he gets polymorphed. Will survive for the moment. OT Gator making it out as well. This Renekton attempting to come on in, but he's 1v5, trying to blow him up immediately. Goes Toasty gets the kill, but now it's Kites who will fall. The Zeri moving forward, taken very low, will eventually fall. JKM the one that's claimed it. Now Inferno ticking will finally drop. It's a double kill over to the Vi, but Ghost Toasties will continue looking for more. It's Sendomochi who picks up the next. It's the Lulu left alone, but on the wrong side of the map. It's kind of a matter of who this kill goes to. Surely it won't be an execute. Now it will go over to Sendomochi, who is on a rampage at 5 and 3. So Very scrappy team fight, but ends up, I believe, 4 for 3 with kites falling early on, but still in favor of Mizzou.
Yeah, I think Mizzou has definitely learned from their mistakes last game and is doing a much better job of playing and moving together to keep these fights in their favor and keep the solo laners from getting too strong by being able to pick off their weaker champions.
Absolutely. I mean, now this Renekton is definitely a lot weaker than he was before. He's still very strong, don't get it wrong. He got first turret pretty much solo, and I believe got some plates as well. And will now move bot. Yeah, he's up a lot of gold on JKM. Yeah, it's a little less than 2K, about 1.5K or so, but quite a bit. Turret's getting so much value, and of course, 40 CS lead for either, but the Rumble can still certainly be useful. Kites attempt to claim this one here, gets it with the smite, but he's eating right into a Lulu who can polymorph at any time, but doesn't press the button. And so Kites can blast cone on out to safety. No neutral objectives up. Potentially make a play on either side. You can see Rumble fighting. They're going to force Desire ult out of Ghost Toasties. He lands root onto one to no grand entrance and no real damage left either. So decent amount of stuff to take you back to the bot lane as JKM looks to fight on the Shark. Drops the ignite, drops the Rumble ult, but to dash through, Shark will claim that another tower shot comes out, and he's still tanking, but he might claim the kill anyways. In a 1v2, CT Shark finds them both. Does eventually fall to the Jarvan, but still incredibly strong. I mean, this guy, he just did this 45 minutes. I don't know. I mean,
that accepts is just putting in the work.
Yeah, and going Sterix. So he didn't have Sterix.
Yeah, he just got it.
Sterix in the last fight, he literally doesn't die.
Yes, yeah, he just bought it. So now it's definitely going to be a lot harder for Mizzou to get anything out of that if that happens again.
Yeah, I mean, the Renekton only becomes more difficult to kill. Cinder Emoji is going to be full combo here. The Seraph's proc will save him for a moment, but instead it will just be a shutdown going over to Zeri. Yeah, I mean, it's so, I don't know. I mean, the team fight does not look bad for Mizzou, but you just need to find more success, and you need to really start snowballing something, because exactly what UND is doing, and they're doing it through this Renekton, and they're finding a lot of success by doing it.
Yeah, I think, it's, well, Mizzou's playing better and definitely doing a much better job at keeping up. They are not exactly getting ahead just yet, so 4 out of 5 players on UND have those shutdowns now. Maybe we can get a little more gold. There's the Richter ultimately now.
I mean, there's gold to be made for sure. I think because the Vi is riding this for trouble, actually does not quite kill the Richter one. It'll be close, so it'll fall inevitably, but I thought because the damage was buffed so much, you're piloting it, that I might finish it off now. The Cloud Drake is up. Mizzou did pick up the first 2. Rumble ult is back online. Every ultimate is up except for Hui's, which will be up in a moment. Pretty much all sums available as well, no ghost. Inferno is going to drop the quickness. There's a big knockup on the 2, and that'll immediately take out Dakota carry UND. Now the Drake still taking very low. Whale comes down, and it goes over to Cinder Momochi. Ghost Toasties manages to stay alive from the efforts of CT Shark, but not for long, as he finally claims him. Both sums used by the Mizzou carry, but not quite enough. Nice engage, lands onto 1, but Inferno might just be the next to drop, and he will. CT Shark still alive. Charm gets stopwatched by JKM, but now they're out of damage and are not in the range to land it. JKM won't find it. CT Shark is going to dive forward. Charm lands once again on the Rumble, and no stopwatch. He'll claim the first one. Picking up the Rumble, Kites will look for the Ahri as the Charm lands onto him, but it's not quite enough. It's a big shutdown going over to the Hui. Lots of members falling. It took a lot longer to kill that Renekton than I think they may have liked, but they do make a lot of gold out of it. And by some miracle, with both junglers in the pit, the Hui claimed the dragon, so Mizzou is on soul point.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the same thing of those mid and top lane, the solo laners being very hard to kill and very strong. Maybe they were able to pick up those kills, but not without losing multiple of their teammates beforehand. So now at least the kills are even between the two teams, and they've closed that gold gap a little bit by picking up those shutdowns. So they still got a way to go before they're ahead.
Yeah, there's definitely needing to find something if you're Mizzou. I mean, you're definitely in a much better game state than you were
2 minutes ago?
Number one.
Oh,
yeah.
game number one as well, yes.
I mean, even in 10 minutes, even in 2 minutes ago, it looks better now than it did before, especially being on soul point. -1, missed the cannon.
It's a little embarrassing.
Your Hui is pretty strong. Your Zaya's on 2 items. Your Rebel's on 2 items. Mizzou has a lot of damage, good engage tools as well. Good responses into the Vi. Zaya is always going to be a good pick into a character like Vi. But the issue is you can only Zaya ult so many things. So if the cease and desist comes out, of course you want to Zaya ult it. But if Renekton comes in, you're going to hope you have a lot of peel to keep you alive, because this guy is going to do a ton of damage. And just made even more gold, picking up the bot tier 1 by his lonesome.
Yeah, and it really seems with Mizzou, I know we just looked at the gold and it's gone now. The only one really ahead is Hui, so they definitely need to focus on keeping and increasing that.
Yeah, the Ahri ult is going to be used defensively now, trying to go on the flank, but well marked by Mizzou, so not a ton will occur here. I mean, they can make a play. Ahri ult has expired. The dashes are gone. Going to DQ over and just immediately get the flash out of the Ahri. Now, getting a flash out of anyone is always going to be beneficial. Ahri, of course, does have those 3 pretty long-range dashes on a very short cooldown, but no flash makes things a little more difficult, a little easier for someone like Zaya. As they don't claim the mid-tier 1 yet. Ghost Osi's is shredding them all. He picks up the first. Beautifully timed feathers as Inferno claims the kill on CT Shark, and another one as he drops the ignite on to the next. So well played by Ghost Osi's. He shreds the wave.
Yeah, we've just got to compliment those.
Yeah,
a great
he played that so well, and now Mizzou can look to claim the Baron. Mid and jungle still alive for UND, but it will not success. It's a free neutral objective for Mizzou.
Yeah, I mean, like I was just saying, you know, they've got now the Rakan is a shutdown, but the Zaya, I assume, is probably, because I think they were pretty close with her. I would assume she's now ahead of the Larry.
I hope 2-1 and 12, the 2-6 and 3.
I think they were only like 50 gold apart before.
I would hope
those
it's
kills.
a pretty substantial lead now.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, maybe, I guess that's why supports never have any money, because they always get assist too. Unless you're Inferno and he has 14.
Yeah.
But this is definitely not a weak Zaya, and especially someone with mechanical ability like those will find some success as well. It's Ahri ult down again.
And still no flash as well, so
He lets it expire. It might come up. Oh yeah, it'll be up for Drake. Already down to about 34 seconds after that 3rd dash expired, and is on 2 items as well. This Renekton on 3. Zonia's is down for JKM, but Zonia's now online for Sinto Momochi. Lots of good options here for Mizzou, and hoping to claim a Cloud Drake. Baron buff helps it out a ton. It will send Sinto Momochi top to deal with this Renekton. Could potentially make a player on the Ghost Toasties, but the ultimate is available for...
One nice thing about Zaya is you can always have that security when they're all around.
Sharks is scooping into the bot wave. Ahri ult is used again and gets the flash out of Big Gano. Nice grand entrance, but there's no damage here to help. Now Rumble will come through. They will help out quite a bit. Zonia's coming out from heights. And they look for the first one as Massive Dog has picked up one. JKM uses the Zonia to try to stop the damage from the Vi, but everyone is so low. Ghost Toasty is going to be aggressive. Picks up the enemy jungler, now grabs another. It's a double kill for the Mizzou 80 carry. This Renekton still alive with a Lulu on his head as well. Mizzou's jungler and top laner have fallen, but the 80 carry and the jungler of UND has dropped as well. Those Toasties trying to look for something, but once that way he misses, it's really hard to find anything. TP is now going to come in. This will be from Massive. Ahri ult is almost up again. I think if you're Mizzou, it's really hard to claim this unless Hui can get it with a long-range ability. This Lulu is incredibly low. You have good engage tools from Inferno. There's only 180 carry here, who in theory is the best at taking down Drakes, and they're immediately going to take down Renekton. That's huge if you're Mizzou. Dragon dropping below 2,000 health. The Feathers should claim this, and Mizzou will grab Cloud Soul and a Renekton kill to boot. Ghost Toasties just got a heck of a lot stronger, picking up 3 kills alone in that one fight.
I really gotta say, these last couple of team fights have been set up so beautifully for the AD carry for Mizzou to make really good plays. I mean, having the strong peel with Tom and pretty much no one jumping on your head in these fights because, you know, Ari wasn't there, just came with the TP later. So, yeah, it's really just been set up beautifully to be able to get a good, strong lead now, 5-1.
Yeah, a gold lead for Mizzou. It's pretty slim, 2,000, but a gold lead nonetheless. Perfect spot to take out the Banshee's Veil, and it'll get out the Ari ult. At this point, Jarvan ult is fairly low CD. He's almost level 16 as well, so Flames of Fury. That's fairly helpful, but Ari, of course, pretty easily able to escape out of that one. Mizzou still hoping to play for some of these tier 1 turrets. Weren't able to get any when this Baron buff was active. With 3 members here in the mid lane and 3 growths, the mid one will certainly fall. Playing for the top tier 1 as well, with the Vi backing off and the Renekton on the other side of the map will be claimed fairly easily as well.
Oh yeah, it's very nice for them to get some towers of their own now. Being able to now have a bit of a stronger control of the map. Definitely stronger than it was last game, so definitely starting to look more in Mizzou's favor.
Yeah, that's all you can hope for if you Mizzou get some of that standard gold on the map. Their gold lead has gone from 2 to 3,000. Always good. Of course, the later you get into the game, the less gold leads matter, but at this stage, it's certainly still impactful. There's 2 important timers to look at here. Next Baron in a minute and a half, and arguably the even bigger one is the Elder Drake in 4 minutes.
Maybe a little bit more important.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, Baron can win games solo, but Elder is one that can certainly be scary.
Yeah.
If you're, well, either side realistically, but if you're
with how close of a game this is, you know, losing Elder for either team can be a big game changer.
And realistically, if both sides don't choose to fight around this Baron when it spawns in 1 minute, pretty much on the dot, one winning team fight can secure both objectives. And Baron Elder is effectively Exodia here if you are either side. Climbing and gaining that now in a much better position for shooting 3.5 items here on the Zion. They're going to try to make a play here on the Lulu, but Kites could be in just a bit too deep. Kites will pick it up first, however, now JKM in stasis. Zeri incredibly low, and the Kites, Jarvan will pick it up. JKM will fall on the opposite side. Renekton has made his way in. The Grand Entrance will not find its mark. Ghost is taken very low already, but he manages to stay alive for the moment. Massive Dog will inevitably pick up the Rumble, but Ghost Toasties now dominating, picking up another 15 seconds for Baron. The only one left alive is the opposing mid laner. It should belong to Mizzou. I think it's just the Vampiric Scepter alone keeping Ghost Toasties alive as the Renekton finds his way in. Really, really well played from Mizzou.
I definitely was scared for a minute. You get the knuckle on the play inside his head there. It looked bad, but you know, definitely able to kite it back out and kill instead.
It's Inhib and Baron here for Mizzou. Then you recall, get set up for Elder. We should still have Elder, or Baron buff, excuse me, when Elder spawns. Grabbing an Inhib is also really, really big. Obviously, the best one for a situation like this is to take top Inhib. It's really hard when it come down for an Elder Dragon, but taking an Inhib middle lane is a lot easier. Bile gets canceled, but now Ghost Toasties is stuck in the pit. This is a huge mistake. A 1K shutdown going over to the Vi.
Yeah, I mean, you got to see those respawn timers and know they're going to head straight to that pit. You really got to get out as soon as possible to kill it.
I mean, the instant recall, it's just unlucky that he's the only one that doesn't get out. That's a 1K going over to a Vi, thankfully. It could be a lot worse. It could be a 1K going to a Zeri, but...
Right, or Ari at this point.
Still, I mean, thankfully, the timers between the two objectives are disjointed enough that we'll be up to plenty of time for Elder, but...
Yeah.
Not something you love to see. It is a Bloodthirster picked up here for Ghost Toasties. Will help out a lot with this Renekton coming in. Don't think there's any anti-heal on the opposite side. Kites just used the zone, yes.
It was strategic, for sure. Definitely not. This click. right?
It's definitely a strategy that you can employ. Now we're going to pause. I don't know. I'm not totally sure what this pause is for. We will wait and see. Just a quick pause. We'll be back in a moment. We can just talk about the game state. What are you hoping to see from Mizzou here with some important objectives coming up?
Yeah, going into this Elder, a 5v5 team fight I don't think has happened, directly yet. There's been a lot of, picking one person off and then going into a 4v5 that I think definitely goes into their favor. But now they've got both Hui and Zaya are very strong now. So if they're able to get into a strong team fight there where they're able to peel, it could definitely go in their favor and secure that Drake.
Yeah, for sure. That's what you're hoping for if you're Mizzou. 1 minute on Elder with this mid inhib down. Vision control, of course, up to Inferno, who got 2 wards on the backside of the pit. Ari is toppling currently, but they're frozen for a moment. This always happens when it pauses. It's alright, we'll be back in just a sec. The Ari is top lane but has TT. It's going to this base now. Taking this early is good. You can quickly get vision on spotted all 3 members in the bot side jungle. Both wards will now be gone from Inferno, which is a little unfortunate.
That is always the hard thing for one for objectives, is not doing it too early and having them immediately taken.
Yeah, that's a great control ward now in the brush right behind it. They're going to try to get one in this brush as well. I mean, Mizzou has total control over this side of the map so far. Kites is going to dash on over. They're going to look for a play here. On 2-1. Great feathers fly. Everyone's out of the pit. The season is just going to come down now, but Zaya is all alone. Does do a lot of damage to those toasties, but not before getting completely shredded. The Rumble ult already came through, flashing forward from one. The Tron comes in. That's a ton of damage onto the Lulu, but not going to find anything lethal yet. So far, just a kill onto the Vi. The Renekton is still very healthy. Massive picks up one, dropping the Rumble. Flashing out now a similar Mochi, but that's 3 members falling for Mizzou. It just goes Toasties and Kites left standing. Perhaps an overchase coming out from Mizzou. Now Elder, they can opt to hit this, but Kites, the only one with a smite left alive on the map. The issue is getting vision of it. Definitely want to drop this. I mean, you can see that those Toasties are potentially going to try to end the game. That's going to be 1 TP out. He can't cancel this TP. Now that's only 3 members hitting. This goes down a lot slower.
They're not full HP.
Okay, Ari dying. They're going to try to, I think, just stun Kites out of it. Damage coming down. Polymorph comes through. Yeah, Elder. He's the only one with smite. UND, what are you doing? That's a big shield down. Those Toasties may still fall, but he will. But Kites picks it up. I don't.
Elder.
What are you? There's only one guy with smite on the map.
Yeah, it was a crazy decision to hit there instead of just waiting for your own jungler to respawn. Because with just the 2 of them, it's pretty hard to take it.
I mean, unless you really think your 5v5 is that bad, this is so free. I mean, they can't one-shot him. He has Zonia's.
And he doesn't look concerned
There's
at all.
no world where they can burst it below 1200. Now that's one already over to Kites as the Vi has already fallen. Everyone's already fallen.
With that Elder buff, I mean, there's not much they can do in a fight.
I mean, shout out UND. Thanks for taking us to a game 3, Beast. I don't know what the plan is. Here's a call. The University of North Dakota. Now the Nexus turrets are next on the menu, and Mizzou's going to go for them. This is a lot of damage coming down. Massive Dog is unstoppable, and Mizzou will fall. There's an open Nexus, not quite able to get it all done. I don't think Ghost Toasties was there. He just respawned, but now on 5 items.
I mean, that was a pretty perfect condition for Zeri ult there to just blow them all up.
Yeah, I mean, everyone gets low, a lot of damage coming out from the Ari. Lulu ult does some work.
Yeah, and they got both turrets, so I just think it was not.
I think the biggest thing there is not a ton of members of Mizzou actually had Elder Dragon. Kites did. Those Toasties obviously lost it. Those Toasties could flash forward, but instead, much better to use the ultimate to secure that kill. Will be an objective bounty going over as the minions claim the mid-tier 2. The Toasties will farm this wave and wait for his team to respawn. But at any point, if Mizzou wins a team fight, you can certainly expect this one to be wraps, but we'll still be going for now. Ghost Toasties could be in trouble here. No ulti, flashing away. So much damage from this Ari, but too much from Ghost Toasties. A big shutdown for the Mizzou AD carry as he picks up his 12th of the game.
Yeah, I gotta say that that BT lifesteal really puts in a ton of work there. That even if Ari does do a lot of damage, it's just not enough to break through.
I mean, that's why he's had a lot of fights that were really, really close in terms of his HP bar, and now with Ari dying, the mid did just respawn, but it's going to die immediately. This is the fight Mizzou wants. 5v4. It's going to go in first. Mid-range X on the 2. I mean, this is so much damage. They'll immediately take down the Vi. The Renekton to the backline will pick up 1 as Ghost Toasties is the first call on the side of Mizzou. Just hit the Nexus, guys. One more auto, and it's wraps. You don't need a team fight. You can just end the game instead. So Mizzou will claim a Game 2 victory behind some really superb team fighting, especially from the lone senior on this roster, Blake Lawrence, Ghost Toasties.
Oh yeah, I mean, I said it multiple times, making sure that your AD carry is protected and can take that damage off, and getting them fed is going to make a huge difference. So
yeah, it certainly did. That is absolutely what Mizzou needed for Game 2. They bring us to a penultimate game, number 3, to decide who moves on in the NECC quarterfinals. We're going to go to a quick break before that. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome, welcome. We are back, ready to head into draft for game number 3, NECC quarterfinals, League of Legends, Mizzou versus the University of North Dakota. North Dakota picking up a big win in a pretty dominant fashion in game number 1. Game 2, a win for Mizzou off the backs of some incredible performances in kites with some great setup, some great mechanical play from Ghost Toasties, and some really poor decision making by UND gave
Yes.
Mizzou the win. So now we'll be back on blue side here for Mizzou, and
Funny
they've
enough.
changed up the bans a bit. So Mizzou has dropped the Gragas ban for an Ari ban. UND has dropped the Ash ban for a Rumble ban. Taking the
And
Rumble out is really interesting.
They dropped the Ezreal ban for the Zai ban as well.
Oh, that's correct. Yes, it was just another AD carry. I thought they were all the same.
I mean, yeah, they're basically the same.
yeah.
So.
I mean, Ezreal has the capability too. I'm not at all surprised to see Ezreal picked.
Yeah,
when
might
I
as
walked
well.
in there earlier today, that's who Blake said he had been playing the most of recently. It's one that obviously isn't the exact same as Xayah in terms of his capability, but is arguably the most mobile AD carry in the game. So lots of potential to be successful here in game number 3. Sivir is the hover by UND. Yeah, they're going to pick Renekton. Wow! These guys are so creative.
It's working for them. Watch
I
out
mean,
there.
I don't blame them.
I'd be interested to see what this, if they pick mid. They might hold it for later.
Yeah, I like picking up the Ari ban. I think the Ari ban is great. I wouldn't.
Yes. We would have to laugh at them if they didn't ban it this time around.
If they kept the Gragas ban instead of Ari, bro, that'd be a little depressing. Jace hover here.
Would this be Jace top?
That's who Wade wants. He said he wanted to play it like 2 weeks ago, but they said that Aatrox looked better.
Yeah. How was the Jace Renekton matchup?
It's definitely a skill matchup for Jace. I know that you can melee E Renekton away when he tries to combat or to combo you,
I
but
see.
if he doesn't use both dashes, then
I
he
feel like
dashes
Jace
once.
is just so squishy as well.
Yeah, but this would be like a very stereotypical poke comp for Mizzou if they pick
that's
Jace.
true.
Then you
That's
have,
true.
I mean, you have Ezreal, you have Jace.
Just stay back and try to stay safe.
Yeah, it is the Jace locked in here. I like the pick. I know it's something that Wade, I believe, plays quite a bit of, and he feels confident enough to lock it in, of course. It's just a matter of how the lane goes. And this is really long range now for Mizzou with the Hui locked in for
Lots of
Sinnoh Yeah, this is a lot of range for Mizzou. This is fairly challenging for Renekton to deal with. If you're Mizzou, you have to make sure that you have the capabilities of dealing with dive.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Vi could be locked in here very easily, which would be a challenge on 3. Obviously, the Vi wasn't super successful. The Maokai takeaway is really good by UND. Maokai Jace is a very, very strong combo, and I think would have been a great pick for Mizzou, but they opt for the Hui instead. So now we'll see some support bans coming out as the Seraphine is taken off the board. Mid still an option for UND as well. I know Hui has some really bad matchups.
Sad to see you're not going to get to the auction like you
I know.
wanted.
Open all 3 games, and we don't lock it. Well, I mean, to be fair, you have to imagine that the odds that they have literally ever played a game, all 5 of them, either a scrim or official match, where Jim has played auction is like maybe once.
Yeah.
So they have like almost, because, I mean, it's what I do when I play with Alex with BT.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we're not having you play Vi because they always ban Vi.
Right. So you might as well.
So you don't really practice with them playing,
Right.
even though they know the limits of their champ. It just doesn't necessarily fit into the mold that you have as a team.
And you want to subvert expectations.
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, this whole time, he's been a UND.
This whole time, the jungler has been Eggy.
That's crazy.
Vi and Lilia banned away. Seraphine and Janna taken off the board by UND. It might be Alex.
Yeah.
Volibear is the hover.
What did they play first game, Jungle? Belveth. Yeah.
Okay, so it's Maokai support. So it's the Freak special with Maokai support. Volibear jungle is in a pretty good spot right now. I think he just got nerfed a little bit, but I think his buffs from previously overcompensate that quite a bit. So Mizzou has some choices here for support and jungle. They need some sort of engage. Otherwise, Maokai is going to be really hard to deal with.
Or at least some peel for reverse 3 champs they picked.
For sure.
Something to keep them away from Renekton and Maokai.
Either one is fine. Wukong is the pick. I like Wukong. Good access into the back line. can peel a bit with the Cyclone. One that Ben is very, very comfortable on. We saw him pop off on it last week, I believe.
Last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that.
2 weeks ago. So not a bad option here. I would like to see some sort of engage champ from support. I think Nautilus is an okay option. Leona's an okay option.
Oh, yeah.
Braum is an okay option.
There's the Nautilus.
I'm not saying. I'm a mind reader. But,
Are you sure you're not talking to them right now?
yeah, I actually drafted, guys. This is all pre-recorded. Get scammed.
You just said the Akshan as a joke.
UND will now plick Kassadin mid. This is a very, it's not necessarily, I mean, it is dive for sure with Renekton and Volibear. But Kassadin doesn't really fit the mold super well. But I mean, I'm going to look up the numbers so that I'm at least correct.
Gotta check our sources again. U.GG, Emerald Plus.
I'm going to go ahead and say that
solo duo win rates.
Kassadin's win rate into Hui is probably really high.
Yeah. I mean, all he's got to do, he's got 1 million dashes. Doesn't matter if Hui's got the move speed and you said 6% shield?
Hui has a positive win rate into Kassadin. 52%, which is good considering Hui's regular win rate against any character is like 6. But still, even though we haven't seen a ton of Hui from Cinema Mochi so far this semester, or even really from what he's played in solo queue, he looked good in game 1. Yeah. He was moving very proactively. He was landing the spells he needed to land. Obviously, in this game, UND has some pretty solid scaling with Kassadin, but Jace scales really hard. Ezreal scales really hard.
Oh, yeah. He's got the Nautilus to keep him alive. So
yeah, that's what matters the most. I think having this Nautilus to be a meatball because they really don't have a ton of burst. Like, Sivir wants to stack lethal tempo. Like, this would be if you flipped 80 carries and like slightly changed the team comp, or just in general. If I'm playing Sivir and I'm
just completely different team comps.
Yeah, if I'm playing Sivir against a champ like Renekton, Maokai, Volibear, and I have someone to peel me, you have like infinite time to get W autos.
Oh yeah.
Sivir, who is Sivir auto attacking? Besides Nautilus. Like, Sivir can never auto-attack any of the damage carries from Mizzou. Yeah. They're just too far away.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't hate the draft. Obviously, I will say Mizzou's one important note, and I think in any level of competitive League of Legends, is which team comp is harder to execute. Mizzou's is much harder to execute.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
You're relying on poke with Ezreal, with Jace, with Hui. UND is kind of just very face roll, like just run at them and press all your buttons. But we saw Mizzou play really well with similar style in the past, and of course the Hui looked pretty good. Now obviously changing that a little bit, but I mean Wukong, very similar style to the other champs that Kites plays, and then I think the Nautilus ties it up fairly well as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think if they didn't have that Nautilus, this would look like a much worse team
if that was an enchanter, I would probably throw up.
You would throw up if it was an enchanter regardless. Of the
then I'd fall asleep. But overall, interesting drafts from both sides. Lots of changes for our final game to determine who stays alive in their run in the NECC. Mizzou hoping to reverse sweep UND. We'll find out if they are successful when we come back after this short break for game number 3. We'll be back in just a moment. welcome back, everyone, for game number 3, the final match of the series between UND and Mizzou, and UND is going to 5-stack here in
The
his top lane brush, and
It's like we're playing Earth.
yeah, JKM did not see them. The question is if
It's gonna be a bit
what
hard to
spells
get
do
out
they
here.
have to get on his head? This is all 5. This will dissuade them for the moment.
Do they hit any
They don't really have anything unless they commit a flash here. But now it'll be a fiesta because the Nautilus has made his way in. So this could just be a straight up 5v5 at level 1. Hook lands out of the Maokai. They're going to go for him first. He's going to fall immediately. First blood for Kites. Not enough time to recall, which is unlucky. But hey, not going to complain about 400 gold in the pocket of the Mizzou
He's
jungler.
definitely a good person to give first blood to.
Yeah, oh,
that
absolutely.
early.
His Wukong is very strong. I mean, once the Nautilus comes top, it's their invade is not particularly good. I mean, you have to commit a flash if you're the Maokai there. Otherwise, you're not catching anything.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I think even if he does flash, they might still get him. So might as well not waste it and figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have flashed there at the end when he died.
Right.
But the only way that ever
flash the
works, the
hook.
initial play, is not even flash
to
the hook.
flash
He
it.
has to
I
flash
understand.
on Jace.
Yes, yes.
But Maokai W range is really, really short. So, again, I'm not going to complain. Mizzou with first blood. So,
Never gonna complain with that.
I'm one. Everyone knows me. I'm not a complainer.
Right.
I would never be so. Level 2 reach for both top laners here, and there's the flash out of the Maokai. One auto gets it done. Goes Toasties. Claims
see
it.
now why you wanted to play Ezreal.
He said he's been playing a ton of Ezreal lately. I mean, this guy plays every AD carry you could think of. He played Jace AD carry last fall. I would love if this one was just like a nice, clean, clear win here from Mizzou, but a flash from the Volibear might make that a challenge. It'll just get the flash out of JKM. The problem is he really doesn't have time to recall here. He's going to have to back away and miss this whole wave.
Does have TP, but he's still gonna lose.
It's a cannon wave, so it'll block a bit, but not a ton.
At the very least, Renekton gets some free plates while he's gone.
No, Renekton shouldn't get. The 5-minute timer should block any chance of getting plays. Maybe he got one. No, he didn't get
no,
one.
probably.
Now, it's a pretty good trade for JKM. It won't result in much, but he really didn't miss a ton here.
Yeah, that's good.
Getting it back now, and the really biggest part here is he had a base TP,
Yeah.
and all he could buy was a refillable potion. That's what feels very bad.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, it was very interesting for there with the Volibear, you know, not having the vision, knowing he was there, and trying to go in and just getting collapsed on like that. I didn't think that he was able to get out with his life. Could have gone much worse for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, the crab steal there with Volibear Sprite and the emote. Is it the Brom W?
So
or whatever?
sad. Losing the crab. I mean, they made it a lot less impactful because obviously the first crab gives a lot less XP and
Yeah.
gold, and but still,
Not as fun
it's
as the later
demoralizing.
crabs either.
If you get the smite or the crab stolen from you, it doesn't feel good.
It feels bad for sure.
You can get top crab though, it's still up.
True.
Hook goes a bit wide for Inferno, but this bot lane already at a pretty big advantage here of 13 CS.
It is pretty rare to see a Sivir not having pretty definitive shove.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's. I think the wave was frozen there for a moment, and
Now she can't even walk up.
yeah, I don't. It's very hard to play. Kites is going to look for something here on the CT Shark. The EQ from the Jace will help out quite a bit. Heal comes through. Kite's going to dash on forward. No flash on this Wukong. Just, I think you gotta know if he's not immediately, panic flashing or something, that he's
Yeah.
biding his time for the Volibear to come in, and that one's gonna go over to Gator of
gotta say, I
UND.
think maybe getting that first blood, maybe just being a little greedy. Revs need to just play it a little slower.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about it's one of the more difficult things to do in League of Legends in general. It's just reading body
tempo.
language effectively.
Yeah.
of being like, hey, so I just used all my spells on this guy, and we know he has flash, and he's not using it.
And he's some
And
reason
he's just
still
walking.
coming after me.
He's not
even when
walking towards his
he's
tier 1. He's walking towards the
Yeah.
jungle. So you're like,
walking
"Whoa."
towards the jungle, even though he's only got 100 HP.
Hook lane
Something's fishy.
will be spell shielded. Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to know as well. And maybe they think they win the 2v2, but JKM not nearly close enough in range.
Yeah,
Also,
that is the hardest thing.
I think people underestimate this Volibear build as well. With PTA in general, I mean, he does a lot of burst damage, even with just QEW and getting a PTA proc. She could be in trouble. Beautiful fear
Yeah,
will keep
that
him
was
alive.
Perfect. I've got to say, this Volibear is having some great movement around the map.
Yeah.
And it's only down 3 CS, was it?
I mean, this volley is strong for sure. Kites clones on over the wall to keep himself safe. Now Mizzou will not look for any early objective for the moment. It is Chemtech Drake as the first one, but Grubs are on the menu for the Volibear of UNG. They'll grab the first, well, Arenas are the first 3. The last 2 times they've done this, they've just killed 2.
Yeah, I know. I remember seeing somewhere, I don't know, it was on Twitter or something, that people were talking about, like, the reasoning behind only killing 2 and 1 behind.
I have a guess, but I'll wait to see if they dive top first. JKM is low on mana. This is a level 5 Volibear. You can't turn off the turret. Dominus is going to run out for the Renekton. JKM no mana. Stun going to come through. No flash.
Oh,
It goes over to the Renekton. He's going to miss a pretty big wave here.
you don't have TP back up yet, yeah.
Yeah, no TP. So my assumption is that it messes with the respawn timers
Yeah.
of the Grubs. So also you don't get the like big pop-up visual notification in the center of your screen unless all 3 die.
Right.
So if you only take the first 2 and the enemy jungler doesn't immediately come up and take the last, then I think the next set of them will just never spawn. Would be my assumption. So I don't think the 1 would die and the 3 more would spawn, or 2 more would spawn.
Yeah.
I think it would just stay the 1.
The 1 until Rift.
Yeah. That's my best guess.
Yeah, I do, you know, dabble in Rumble. I have 3 of the Rumble games, whatever we all fill. But, so I certainly am not the expert on Void Grubs out there, new addition to the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's my best guess. My presumption is that the next set of them will just never spawn, and instead, in 6 minutes, a little
Yeah.
under 6 minutes, it'll be Rift Herald instead.
And at the very least, you don't get the, on-screen notification.
Yes.
I've seen even so.
He's gonna have a dive coming in now. The tower's turned off. The shield is actually doing quite a bit of work for him. And now the tower's back on. That's one of the things they just nerfed. And Cindermochi lives, and he's got a decent amount of health left too. The Caston could potentially still go, but instead it will just be Kites. The Riftwalk flash away. The movement speed from the second part of the Cyclone comes out, but man, just a little too much for the Caston.
Just a little too early. If he'd thrown it now,
Yeah, very close. So this is one of the things when they came out with the Volibear buffs. This is one of the things that one of the only parts they nerfed is this turning off of the tower at level 6 is way shorter. So it only stops maybe 1 or 2 tower shots. Who question mark pinged it? It was JKM. It was Jace dropping the question mark ping on the Volibear. As it's a nice kill, donated on over to Cindermochi's way.
We've got a compliment. That was a pretty good
he played it
gameplay
great,
from. I mean, getting dove 2v1 and getting a kill out of it certainly never feels bad.
Yeah, I mean, he played it as well as he could. He used the shield. He got, I think, some form of CC down as well.
The fear it. Maybe it was the root though, with the claw thing.
It was EE. I don't know anything. Listen, I know I'm the guy who knows all the official ability names of every spell.
Okay.
I don't
he's a
know.
little
I don't know what
new.
they are.
He's a little new. You got
He
time
has
to figure
too
it
many.
out. It's
There's-
only like
there's
10.
Yeah, 10 abilities. That's, I mean, that's 2. That's a champ. That's 2 champs and a half. Now, Gator's going to try to make. Well, excuse me, Shark is going to try to make a play here on a JKM, but the Conqueror is not enough. The flash away is not enough, and
Man.
it's another solo kill for the Renekton.
It's just, I mean, like we said in the beginning, it's a very, Jace has to be very skilled in this matchup because Renekton's so strong.
Yeah, I mean, eventually the Jace in theory, is more impactful than the Renekton because he has the long-range poke that can do a lot of damage. But that is first turret gone at 10.5 minutes. This Renekton has every single game inflated himself with so much gold.
Yeah, I mean, he's already up 2.5. I can't do math that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, not, like 2.3k or something?
Yeah.
2.2k?
It's funny, I've got the math minor, and clearly it's not that useful.
Need to go back to school.
Yeah. Maybe it should have been a double major.
Yeah,
the minor
exactly.
wasn't enough.
Then, yeah, you needed a double major in math so you could more effectively cast League of Legends.
Yes, not for anything else related to my career, just for League of Legends casting.
Now, Kites may look to make a play down here in the bottom lane, or...
I'll say it's not looking great.
I mean, it's hard to dive on Maokai. A Sivir as well. I mean, Maokai is level 5.
And the Volibear's nearby as well, and they already got vision on him, so...
Maokai is level 5.
It seems like Volibear's coming down, maybe?
They see it now once it clears the ward. Still.
Got a minute and a half until Drake, so...
Okay, so Shark kills the second Void Grub, the third Void Grub, which does pop up the thing. Do we have the ability to look at objective timers? And does the objective timer thing on the spectate show Void Grubs? Because if it doesn't show Void Grubs, okay, so we'll never know. Maybe it spawns in less than 2. I don't think it'll spawn in under 2 minutes.
Or a Reddit post about it.
Yeah. I don't think it'll ever spawn. Kites is going to look for a play. I mean, this one this is going to be very challenging. Dominus comes out.
Got the ult as well, yeah.
Cyclone is available for Kites, but he'll just clone out instead.
I will say that is one of the advantages is this Mizzou team is just lots of mobility. So that even when the Renekton or the Volibear or the Cassidy or the Maokai or even get on their head, they're able to get out and not hand over their deaths quite as easily.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is important for Mizzou to know that you have effectively 3 damage carries, Ezreal, Hui, and Jace. All 3 of them need to have some way to not get fully one-shot by this Renekton. Or if you're Inferno, try not to get one-shot in your own jungle. He's going to drop the Nautilus ult, forced to flash out as well. But does get the Ignite and the Maokai ult.
Yeah, Maokai does have a pretty large CP still, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, those Toasties. This is where poke comps thrive.
Yes.
Is objective fights like this.
And they are walking away.
Yeah, I mean, Inferno didn't take that much damage. Flash forward, looking onto the enemy jungler. They'll find him immediately. Inferno's going to pick that one up, but now they're going to focus onto the Hui, but it's a double kill for the Nautilus already. Sentinel Emoji's still alive, but just for the moment, the Renekton has made his way down. The Sivir finds the kill. The Maokai very low. Those Toasties full health. Inferno low as well. Has his own flash. Going to make his way out now. We'll turn their focus to the Mizzou support, who will certainly fall. This will be a 5-5 game here in just a moment. They'll donate it on over to CT Shark as well. He did opt to use the TP and the flash. JKM, no TP up, so could not match. Is going to get some plates for himself in the top lane. His TP is Cassidon, I believe, who will come up and catch the wave. But overall, no one drew the dragon. Mizzou, the team fight was pretty much even.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see the gold differential here, because this last couple of games whenever Renekton moved towards objectives on the other half of the map, set up the wave pretty well for himself. In this case, Cassidy had to go up to cover.
Shark, wow, it was very close to being stolen by Ghost Toasties. This Renekton has no flash, but he doing so much damage. He need to find the last bit of damage to kill this Renekton. Can't quite do it. Ezreal E's over the wall. Inferno now on the wrong side of the map and going to fall. 2 more kills. I mean, this Renekton has been a problem in all 3 games. To be fair, he is their only source of damage, and it is still a Renekton, the notorious falls off the cliff scaling Renekton. Is 5 of the team's 7.
Right. I mean, out of all 5 of these champs, I think, if any of them are going to be fed early, it doesn't feel as bad for compared to if it was a Sivir.
JKM is going to make the play here on to Massive, and that's a nice trade, doing a lot of work. His Jace will certainly scale. Mirror Mana is the really big spike that he's waiting for. Has the Eclipse already, but needs to grab a few more, and then we'll really start to see him hurt quite a bit.
Yeah, certainly. It seems... I'm not really sure Renekton is moving in close away, but not sure if I can come out of it. What does have... It does not have Flash. It does have ult. If needed.
Yeah, Mochi is going to shield himself. Full combo Shark. I mean, the trade actually looks kind of good.
Yeah. Certainly better than you would expect.
One
in one way.
Oh, nice. JKM is TP down as well. That's a lot of healing down on the CT Shark. They have the damage to kill him. He comes through. Need the Q. Pop from it. Won't go. It's just a dominating Renekton as they don't quite have the damage. Now we take your attention to the middle lane and can't quite find it. It's just this Renekton.
Yeah.
It's close to dying constantly, but just healing so much.
At this point.
Yeah, he really is.
I mean, he's got the Eclipse, not the Sterks just yet, though. So, as we said the last couple games, just become harder to kill.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. A variety of things to keep your eye on here in this game. Mizzou, or both teams, excuse me, at 1 Drake apiece. The biggest thing, of course, is that Kassadin now level 11. So still a ways to go before the level 16 Kassadin monster. But for now, Mizzou's got some time. This Renekton is going to be a problem, of course. 6-0 here.
So the force use Ghost to get away and is able to dodge the Ezreal with that. Just seems like a lot of back and forth, but not much coming out of it. Although the Renekton is back on the map now, so we'll see.
I mean, JKM is certainly pretty far behind here in this one. So we need to find some more success. This mid-tier 1 will fall from a swift breeze, but
yeah.
No breeze yet.
They're
keep
keeping it up so far.
That's all you can ask for if you're the Tigers. Mochi will continuously just keep on clearing waves as the Cascade pushes them forward. Renekton will flame the turret with OG Gator by his side. And now JKM will back on out. Our next objective in a minute and 20 seconds. As Rift Herald was claimed by Mizzou a little while ago. Gonna drop this one in the middle lane and then straight to full mid-tier 1, which is a good feeling for sure. Ezreal doing some damage on top of it as well.
Pushing out that way a little bit more. Is that new tower still alive on Mizzou's side?
Somehow.
Yeah.
The Simmer has no mana as well.
Yeah. I will say, that is one of the more interesting changes with her countering health instead of mana. Definitely feels like you run out of mana much quicker.
Yeah, I mean, and they, of course, totally killed any sort of lethality build that's looking for the Kassadin. The sweeper didn't spot him. That's so unlucky.
It was like a pixel away.
Yeah, the sweeper just
even if he saw him, I'm not sure if he had the time to stop the back, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think he can stop his back for sure. He can just ease him, which doesn't have damage to stop it. I mean, does it kill him? Probably not. Does he get a flash? Probably. But if he, I think for him to get the Kassadin flash, he probably has to Wukong ult, and then you don't have Wukong ult for this Ocean Drake that's up in 10 seconds, which is infinitely worse. Question is if we see a 5v5 here for this next dragon. Kassadin is actively top lane, but can very easily TP at any time. Ghost Toasties very intelligently knowing that, I mean, if any of these minions hit the turret, it will die.
Yes.
So he just tanks a little bit of minion damage.
Sacrificing a little bit of his own HP to keep that tower standing for a little while longer.
Baron spawning soon. Wendy with control of the river.
Taking a bit from the... Oh, there's
Who wants to walk into the left side? We're going to start hitting this now. Ghost Toasties as we'll land onto 1. Drake. A little 5k health just momentarily. Maokai ult is available. Still Jace is not in there. A nice steal coming out from Kites, but another Renekton is in the back line. Instead of Emotion's going to fall immediately. Knight's looking to find a kill onto the Sivir and will pick it up. He does not have clone for a while. Blastcomb will keep him alive. Inferno falling to the Volley Bear. Moments ago, Kites will almost certainly fall to this Kassadin. Instead, will now drop. JKM falling as well, and this Renekton is becoming more and more of a problem here as just Ghost Toasties makes it out with his life.
Yeah, I think it is really just that Renekton able to get to the back line and do so much damage, and unfortunately your Jace is just not as imposing in these two sets yet, just being 0 and 4. So, yeah, you really gotta hope for the Renekton to eventually fall off, or at least for your Ezreal to get Sterek, or what am I thinking of?
I mean,
Strelius, right?
yeah. Minto Mochi needs Zhonya's.
Yes, that as well.
I mean, you need Ezreal to have sums, and I mean, this Jace is not very strong at all, right?
Yes.
You can hope that Jace finishes Mirror Mana and hits its spike, but Jace is one of those characters where he falls behind or isn't like at least even. The usefulness steadily goes down.
He definitely thrives on having people to kill quickly, and they don't have very many of those champions on UND's team.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... This game definitely looks a lot different, and the series looks a lot different. If Mizzou has a pick, I mean, I guess the Rumble was banned for this third game, but just more options for something that can at least just go even with the Renekton.
Right.
The problem is the Renekton getting hyper-fed every day.
Yeah.
As he picks up another kill in the top side. River will be falling, and now with the TP coming in, this will be massive. Oh, excuse me, no, it's Renekton who was killed instead of Mochi falling in the bot lane. Now JKM, I mean, he's effectively one-shot here as Eclipse proc will keep him alive for the moment. He will survive. Now Inferno going in, Ghost Toasties can hit from the outside, but this Renekton is just too strong. It's another one. Now Baron on the table, and it will be taken out relative ease as UND, their lead is going to grow very, very large here when this falls. Almost 8,000 gold.
Yeah, yet again, just like game one, it seems the only, like, Ezreal's have a bit of CS on Sivir, and Wukong's up a bit, but has died quite a lot more, so it's just, they really need somewhere to catch back up, and it's hard to tell where that will be just yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to be a challenge. Obviously, you hope that you can make up some of this gold, but right now JKM is just getting absolutely one-shotted. He has certainly struggled here in this series, and for the time being, definitely an issue here in this one. And this Renekton is just such a problem now. 3 items, demolish.
And it's just hard to tell if they really have that much damage to kill him.
Yeah, they're gonna go for him now, and he's alone. Nautilus already came in with the Sterak shield now, and this turret has fallen, and this Renekton is still alive, still kicking. The healing is far too much.
Yeah.
I think the game may be over. It's 24 minutes. This is alive. The wave is there. I mean, they could at least get an inhib. If they choose to do so, yeah, I mean, they just wait for the wave and the turret will fall.
Able to do that much damage to stop them.
This Jace is like a cannon at this point. I mean, he needs so much to get back into this game. 14-0 for CT Shark, and a rough spot here for Mizzou.
Yeah, I guess we'll be a bit pessimistic, but, you know, it's certainly not over. You know, with a lot of low champions like this, Ezreal ult is up. They could potentially go for the steal on Drake that is up in about 10 seconds. We will have to see, but they do have much better control of the map.
Yeah.
UND does. So it'll be tough for Mizzou to secure an objective or get some more goals in their pockets.
Those Toasties falling in his own jungle as well. I think that was just a pure 1v1. That does not feel good considering, I mean, once again, these AD carries have effectively been non-factors in this one. I mean, the only one that Mizzou, looked good in throughout was the game where those Toasties really got involved and got really strong on Isaiah. And just Ezreal, not a champ that, I mean, he certainly can do that as a character, but just not in a position to do that here in this game.
He really doesn't have that many opportunities to participate in team fights and get big damage off, as Renekton is just, and basically their entire team comp is
4
able to
items
get
in
on his
25
head
minutes
so
for Renekton.
quickly.
Like, he's too difficult to deal with. At this point, yeah, I mean, he's like double the gold with
yeah.
Jace.
It really is.
I mean, everything else is like,
it.
I mean, I was gonna say everything else is close. Everything else is not close.
No.
I mean, it's
It's a
4K
struggle.
mid,
It's a little
4K
close.
mid, 2K 80 carry. We're up 50 gold support.
Hey, that's a win.
That counts for something, right, guys? Right. Mizzou is down 13K gold.
Yeah. It is just not looking good for them quite yet. They do have Baron respawning in about 2 minutes.
Those Toasties will immediately get dove, has to flash, has to deal, still rooted up by the Maokai ult, and going to fall. It's the King who picks him up. Kites' Cyclone is pretty good, and this Volibear will inevitably fall. We're looking for more as well as they take down the Maokai. Flash forward, but Massive kills him with relative ease. Low health bars, with the exception of the raid boss himself, but not bad. 2 for 2, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about as good as you can ask for if you're Mizzou.
And did either of them have shutdowns?
No shutdowns.
Yeah, they might have been
0-3, and he was 2-2. No shutdowns. The only shutdowns in this game are the ones that are still standing.
Right.
Top tier one's gonna go. Hook will not land. Horizon focus proc as CC doesn't go from the play. I mean, if you get this guy's GA, it's kind of a win.
Right.
Getting his GA is going to be really hard. They spotted the Kassadin. Renekton is now going to dash through the Nautilus with the Dominus. He's quite literally 1v5 right now, and he just killed Nautilus. Still alive at half HP. Finally, CC coming down. They're going to proc his GA, and as Kassadin is leaving him to die, they just have to kill him. And it will go over to JKM, and he doesn't get one in response. So that's a 1K shutdown to the Jace. And a big shutdown to Kites as well, picking up the Kassadin on the chase. And that's a lot of gold in Mizzou's pockets.
Oh, yeah.
That is desperately, desperately needed.
Yes. I don't know if to catch up yet, but definitely better than where they were.
Yeah, I mean, you're still down 12 games. But
They've
like,
at least got the confidence they can kill the Renekton now.
Yeah.
So, this may require 1v5, but it still can be done.
Well, guys, don't worry. We can kill Renekton as long as none of his teammates are there.
Yes, as long as they leave him
And
alone
even
to
then,
die.
he still went 1 for 1.
Right. But it's doable.
He doesn't have 5 items yet. Still only 4. I mean, the GA is on a long cooldown, which is important for sure. It's just disheartening if you're Mizzou to really claw yourself back, especially into that game 2, find a win, and then this game 3 just slowly slipping through your fingers after a pretty good start. I mean, you get first blood in the jungle. Bot lane got an early 2v2 kill. But since then, those are really the only bright spots that we've seen besides those last few shutdowns. Kites can try to get in here, but I mean, this thing is pretty much already dead. Another Baron over to the side of UND, and they are back up to a 13K gold lead.
With the inhibs exposed now, it'd be pretty easy for them to...
Yeah. Also, Renekton died with a 700 gold shutdown and respawned with a 700 gold shutdown. So he's worth a lot of money.
And no GA back up yet.
As the Israel comes through and try to cut the wave, but really challenging to do so. Now Renekton could be going a bit deep here. They're going to do a decent amount of damage to him, but not nearly enough. It's a killing spree for King. Carter Wall, now they're looking for Ghost Toasties. It's Shark, who he's down below half HP, but that's about it. 2 inhibs falling, flashing forward. Now is the Maokai looking for a bit of a hook. Can't find him yet. Jake can't try to go forward, but in the back line as Kites. He has taken care of the Sivir, but CT Sharky gets one, but Kites will fall to the opposing mid laner. The Renekton is still alive. JKM looking like he wants to go in, but not able to do it just yet. Mizzou will keep the game alive, at least for the moment. And it looks like it's at least generally all right. That is some damage onto the Renekton. I mean, even with this type of damage, this is not a fight I can take if you are Wade Rush.
At this point, you just back up and try to play a little.
And the other issue with this too is, like, even if your argument is that Renekton like falls off a cliff in scaling, which is true, like he's not a good scaling character. Kassadin is level 16 with 3 items, and as mentioned, he's not really stacked at all, but he's got another needlessly large rod there as well. I mean, it's a tough one for Mizzou. Poke comp is not very successful when they just dive on you.
Yeah.
And your poke doesn't really do any damage.
Right. That is the biggest thing, is they just don't really have the damage to secure kills on these very.
Okay. It's not really even worth trying to play my cast when that's the situation. Now, Shark could potentially look for Kites here, but not gonna find him. I mean, that's Kassadin scaling for sure. Just absolutely one-shotting JKM. He's dead for 30 seconds. Do they have a wave? It's a little far for UND, but Sigurd coming in. They're just going to turn off both the turrets. They can focus the turrets if they'd like, but if you're massive, you're just going to focus Sigurd and Mochi. Has managed to stay alive, at least from the moment. A nice cyclone in the backline, but it's not enough. UND is just too strong. Flashing forward is the Sivir. Mizzou's dreams in the NECC playoffs will falter at the hands of UND. Game 3, a similar story as Game 1. Just some early mistakes from Mizzou and some really, really strong solo lane play. Obviously, it took a little longer for the Kassadin to come online in Game 3 than it did in Game 1 when it was the Ahri and the Renekton, but that is where the road stops for Mizzou in the NECC this time around.
Oh yeah, it was, definitely a close match. It looked very good after Game 2, but having really strong early game comps make it hard to get your team back up. So definitely a good watch, and yeah.
Just unfortunate for Mizzou. I think Game 3, some things change. Maybe things go the other way, but at the end of the day, UND just, we saw in Game 1, Game 3 especially, when they get a lead, they are just going to run away with it. But that is all from us here behind the desk. I believe this is our last stream of the week, since there is no League of Legends game tomorrow. And then, of course, we've got our break for spring break next week, so we'll be back with more streams and content and such, not next week, but the week after. But that is all for me. I have been Paladino, your cast for the night. Beyblades, thank you for joining me behind the desk.
Glad to be here.
Happy to have you, of course. That is all. Thank you all so much for watching. Not the result we were hoping for, but it's the result we got instead. Have a great night, everyone. I'll catch you guys next time.